Hello everybody, welcome back to my craft room. It's a really cold night out tonight, and it's dropped about 20 something degrees today and changed from being a bit balmy and rainy to well below freezing, and there's freezing rain and storm warnings and everything else out there tonight. So it's a good night to be in here doing something where it's nice and warm. So tonight I'm doing another ATC card. I have this card. It's just a piece of cereal cardstock, the same as I always use. And the black and white is a napkin that I've covered. I've got a lot of backgrounds like this made, and I've decided to use them up. It's just been gessoed on both sides and the napkin stuck down on it, and nothing else has been done to it yet. So let me get rid of this, and I'll show you what I'm going to be using tonight. I think what I'm going to be using tonight. I am dying to try out these Delusions permanent mixed media ink, and this is the palette from Diane Reevely. It's just amazing bright colors, and it's an archival quality ink, so it won't smear once it's dry. It will when it's wet, but once it's dry it won't, and it should last, and the colors should stay vivid. They shouldn't become muted over time because it is archival quality. I got it with a 50% off coupon at Michael's, and that's the only way I would buy it because I thought it was a bit pricey, but I'm dying to try it. So I'm going to try to use this a bit. I'm going to use some DIY texture paste. This is a recipe that I got off the internet. I don't know how it's going to work yet. I used a recipe that called for plaster of Paris because I have that on hand. I used it making my DIY chalk paint when I was painting furniture. So I'm going to give this a try, and I'll let you know later how it works, like how it holds up. And I have this little black edger for my ink. I've got a little piece of stencil. It's just an old piece of stencil, but I like these stars, and I love her. I absolutely love her. Can you focus? Yes. See, isn't she adorable? I fussy cut this from a birthday gift bag. Now, isn't that adorable? You can't, it's just a small gift bag from Dollar Tree. I get everything from Dollar Tree or Dollarama. And if I can, because I've got stars and fairies, it might call for some stickles because we might need a little bit of glitter. And to use my inks, I have a little tip to show you. The blending tools are really expensive, and I have access to a lot of wine corks. I don't drink wine myself, but where I work, I can bring a lot of corks home. And these little pieces that I have glued to the end are just little felt pads. They come with a little bit of sticky glue on them, but I put a touch of hot glue to keep them on there. They work really well as blending tools, and I don't know if you'll recognize what they are or not, but you know the little felt pads that you get for sticking on the bottom of your kitchen chair legs so that they won't scratch your floor at the hardware store. And I think I paid $2.99 and I got 16 of them maybe. Glue them onto a cork, and it's a great blending tool for all of the inks. So that's just a tip. If you don't want to spend a lot of money and you have a cork, go to the hardware store and get some of those little felt chair leg protectors. Amazingly cheap, and it does work. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to put this across the card like this. Get her out of the way before she gets something spilt on her. And I'm going to try a little bit of this texture paste that I made. If it doesn't work, if I've tried it at the beginning and it doesn't work, then I haven't ruined a card that I've spent a lot of time working on. So I am going to spread that with, what should I use? I'm wondering. I don't have a palette knife because I haven't done any of that kind of painting yet. Maybe I'll just use a little piece of cardstock because, yeah, I think that'll work. So I'm just going to get a little bit of this. Now I'm thinking I might have made this a little bit too runny, but maybe not. So I'm just going to spread this in there, wipe across. Oh, perfect. It might be a bit too runny, but we'll see. But it is some good texture anyway. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe some right down here in this corner. Sure, why not? I'm going to toss that in the garbage and get a wipe to clean that off, because when that dries, it's really, really hard. And I'll be back in just a minute. I'm just going to dry this. Okay, I'm back. This is dry. That dried remarkably fast with just a touch from the heat gun. So I'm hoping it doesn't just chip back off. But right now there's a little bit of texture. I don't know yet how much it's going to show, but we'll see. So I love this pink. So I'm just going to put some on my blending tool and work it in. There. I'm going to start off the card and go around. Up, yeah. There, that's better. I needed that to be nice and bright. Oh, isn't that pretty? I'm going to move this because I think that's hitting that. Sorry that that's jiggling. I need a little bit better setup. There. Isn't that pretty? That is gorgeous. I love that bright pink. Especially at this time of the year on a night like tonight. That bright pink cheers you right up. There. Let's see if I can get a little bit right there, right on there. There, I want that to be nice and bright. There, that's really pretty. So I'm going to give that just a little bit of a dry. I'm just going to hit it for a minute. Just sorry about the noise, but there, perfect. There, that just took a minute, I think, hopefully. Now I am going to go over top of this with, I don't think I want to do too much to this card tonight. I think I just want it to be really, really simple. I have some of this. Maybe at the bottom. And my little fairy. Not much of that star is going to show anyway. So maybe put her down there. Maybe I'll put her up here. And then put this here. This is just that, you know, you buy a big, huge card of, it's plastic, but it looks like metal trim. Yeah. Okay. So before I do that, no, actually, I think I'm going to glue that down. I'm going to have to get a better camera set up than this because I'm reaching for the trusty old Mod Podge. I don't know how I would live without this stuff. Isn't that funny? Get my nice paintbrush, and it's been sitting in the water since this morning when I was working on something else. So let's see now if this is going to hold up. Well, look at that. There is none of that pink on the brush at all. So let's put her down. Put a little bit of, she's got kind of a shiny coating on her. Those bags were fairly shiny, almost like they have a wax cover on them. So I'm going to put a little on her too. So I'm going to put her just off to the side like this. There. Isn't she cute? I'm just going to push her down until the glue comes right out from underneath her, because with that little bit of texture there, I want to make sure she's down all around. And put a little under her edges, because I don't want her to come back up. I belong to a group that trades the cards. So when I make something, if somebody wants to trade for it, I definitely don't want to send it to them and then have it fall apart or the color bleed off of it or anything like that. So trying to use some good product is nice. There. See, she's not sticking down. She's wanting to curl up, isn't she? There. Let's just get her down there. There. I might have to push her down a little bit until she starts to dry. Get a little bit under this edge, make sure. There. That's good. And yeah, I'm going to cut one of these off. I think the Mod Podge will be sufficient if I put enough on there. It probably doesn't need that much, but this is kind of a funny, and it'll all dry clear anyway. There. Okay, I'm going to let this dry. Oh, see, it's popping back up again. I might have to sit here and just hold this down. There, I'll be right back after this is dry. There, I'm back. I actually started to outline this star a little bit in the white. This is a Uniball Signal pen. I got it on Amazon, and it's great for any of my little art projects. The ink flows out of here so good. You barely press on the pen. The lighter your touch, the better the ink flows. So, yeah, that's good. And then there's a little wee star up here as well. I think I'm going to outline it. There, little touches of white. I think they don't hurt at all. And I think I'm going to go around here. This will just look like stitching around the card. Just a little touch. I find when I do this with the white pen, I like doing it with the black pen as well, but when I do it with the white pen, it does look a little bit more like stitching. There. Now, do I need any around the bottom? I don't think so. And I'm not, yes, I'm going to do it over her too. It'll look like she's been stitched right onto the page. Why not? There. That's cute. There, and she needs some sparkle. All fairy princesses need sparkle. So I have this Stickle glitter glue, and this is oh, there, maybe there. I can't find a color on this. I thought I'd be able to tell you what it is, but I got it at Michael's once again, and it's a Ranger product, and it is the coolest glitter glue. So this little bit here, a little bit on the star, and I've got an airlock. Oh, I could be almost out of this. There. There. I have to store this upside down so that I'll be able to get some out of it. There's still some in there. I can feel it, but I've used it an awful lot. There. Now I can spread it around. There. There. I'm sorry, I wasn't even in frame. I'm going to try to get better at that, I promise. There, I think she's done. She needs to have a quote. So I'll look for a quote or something to put on, and I'll be right back. Okay, I found this tiny little word joy, and I think it'll fit on here nicely, and it goes with this. And the blue writing even matches the blue on her dish. I think this must be candy floss. That's what I'll fairy princesses want to eat. I'm sure of it. So put this right about there. There. And we're almost finished. All we have to do is let this dry. I am going to put a little bit of the white and outline that, or maybe blue, if I can find a blue to match that. And I think we're done. So when it's all dry, I will take some close-ups and put them at the end of this clip. Thank you very much for joining me in the craft room, and bye-bye for now. I'll see you on my next video. And if you like this type of thing and you want to see more of it, then subscribe, share with your friends, and try to get the word out there. I'd like to share some more with you. Bye for now.